So NPL Royale is basically the contenders teams come to LA and clash with the NPL teams at the studio in Manhattan Beach. Basically, they split into two groups, and we play a short series to see how the teams are stacking up to the NPL teams, the contender teams, that is, and just kind of see, it's just like a fun mid-season event, pretty much. As a coach, I'm looking to see what other teams are doing to adapt to the contender teams coming in, to see how dynamic other teams are, and also make sure that we're not getting any bad habits from the Royale. Basically, we want to keep the team on the right mindset, make sure they're not doing anything that is dumb so that they'll bring bad habits into the actual season of NPL, and just have a good time with it. We don't have too many major goals. We know that it can go either way. It's not a super important tournament. There is prize pool on the line, but we have a few goals here and there, like defending our loot spots from the teams that are contesting us. That's pretty much it.
Okay. The least nervous I've ever been for an event. I'm so not nervous that I'm bored.
No. Not nervous or bored or any of that. I just need my headset to work. That's it.
You done?
It says we're gonna win, so I believe.
I never said that.
What game?
Yeah.
All of them. Winning all the games. Yeah. I mean, no one we're scared of, but tempo's always good, so we gotta, if we kill tempo, we win the game, basically, so that's how it works.
They should be able to break line of sight here for Cloud9, so Cloud9 going to have to decide what they want to do to kind of counter that.
Great awareness, aware that there's the dip right there, just trying to make the play for it, and then see if maybe they can push in on foot. But we do have Profi that's holding the angle, not going to allow it to be an easy rotation, so Lazarus going to have to figure out, what do we do next? Just hopping back in the vehicle. Nice shots coming out from K-Mine, just drops Purdy off the back of that bike. So Lazarus troubles still mounting, as it looks like they're just going to go ahead and send it.
Yeah, this is the problem for Lazarus right now. Nothing is distracting Cloud9 from just focusing all their attention on it. They are going to send it, however, to the middle of that field. On the motorcycles, they got the cars going. Can they get to a compound or at least a ditch maybe in this field? Looks like they might be able to.
Oh, they might be going back over towards Noble's complexes. Yes, it looks like Alo's going to run right up into the buildings that they're at. So with this could be a little bit problematic. We can see Sonic's taking shots. It's going to be Keenan that hits Uncivil. So with this, a slam right into the building side. Now the troubles mount even further. They've got a ton of teams around them shooting from the outside of this. You can see bullets just raining down into the wall.
In game one, where we put a little bit too much emphasis on trying to camp, or not really camp, but put a pressure on United, which had to come in from the blue because they were just finishing fighting another team. We kind of put too many resources on finding and killing United when we should have been kind of looking in zone to see what we should have done next, and that kind of led up to our death, because we had to make a rush play, in my opinion, to crash Noble there. So that's kind of what happened.
They have their own things to prove, but for Lazarus, they're coming off the back of a very tough NPL weekend last week. And, this is a team that has stayed together a long time, but it is a mental game. And if you cannot perform at the Royale off the back of a bad weekend, what does the rest of the split look like for Lazarus?
Yeah, I mean, they are hitting a point where Kendo, what you got? You're still kind of by yourself. The rest of your team hasn't regrouped over here. And Purdy is just pushing up the hillside back behind it. Kendo is aware, takes a couple of shots, but it's going to be the Stola time that buys a little bit more space. Lazarus has to be very cautious, as there's a full squad protecting Kendo right now.
This is actually taken out now as well. And this thing's going crazy right now, as that's going to be a good nade coming out to take out Kendo from Purdy Curdy. But you can see the shot still coming in from range. That's going to be Ripe Army now getting involved. They kind of worry about Ripe Army. They're going to worry about United. Lazarus just surrounded on all spots right now.
But we've got Tempo Storm and Lazarus, who have got sight lines back towards each other. And it's going to be some nice shots coming up from Sharky to get Adam down.
Oh, it's the NPL's version of Ali versus Frazier right now. Sharky's going to take out Adam and get the flush on Civil. He's going to pull off of this. It looks like Lazarus was caught out in a 2-2 split. Tempo taking advantage, while Civil managed to escape for now. And that's going to be 2 left alive for Lazarus.
But it's going to be Lazarus who has an angle back on the other side of Ripe Army.
United and Lazarus just absolutely covered for Tempo Storm here with huge kills, and that's going to be it for Ripe Army, as now Lazarus turns their attention to Tempo. It looks like they got it down onto Zampa.
Lazarus, they hear this firefight, aware that somebody has to be down. Remember, they lost one of their members to Tempo early, so if they were paying attention to the kill feed, which we know these guys do, they know that there's a damaged Tempo Storm over here.
Nothing finding its home.
Oh,
and
Uncivil goes
Lazarus.
That is
Uncivil's going to get flushed out here by Zampa, and now it's just down to Purdy. He's just going to run. No, he has no frag grenades. He does have 4 smokes, though.
Oh, no.
Oh,
is this
boy.
how Tempo Storm goes out? As Purdy is not going to get spotted out. The shots go a little bit wide. Finally does get the down, gets the flush, and Tempo Storm is like, what the hell is going on back behind us? Purdy goes for the shots, but the rest of Tempo Storm is like, nah, man, you can't do that.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this. 9 kills for Tempo.
Lazarus has managed to come right over here next to where Denial's going to be making their push through. Denial taking some shots back over towards Alo. Has a nice angle for it, but just can't quite connect all the shots that he wanted to get. So Lazarus still weathering the storm that's happening next to him. Purdy gets the down onto Crow. Denial has to push into this range, and that's just going to be tearing him apart. Look at that. Lazarus just comes up big at 6 kills now.
Roth came in with the final kill there from,
and Stab is just raining death and destruction onto Lazarus.
United's got a little bit more to work with on this southern side than Lazarus does on the north side. There, I mean, you see where the circle falls there.
It's just, I mean, he's just like, nah, it's fine. I'm just never going to be able to stop moving.
He's got roaches, man. He's got roaches running all around him as now you see Lazarus does get finished off by Stab and the blue zone. As we go now and check with Lazarus, who's getting pressured now by Vicious Gaming.
Playing right on the side of the wall. Uncivil, man. This guy can get some plays, but it's actually going to be Alo that goes down from some shots from Reno.
Oh, no.
Uncivil going to have to figure out, does he go for the gamble play along the wall? It's a little bit too dangerous as grenades are going to land next to him instead. Lazarus on full defense, but they did manage to send somebody over. Purdy did manage to make use of that distraction, so is going to be able to get the res at least back up on Alo, but can they capitalize and get out of it?
Hero play by Purdy. They have Alo now up and active as Frank the Tank is going to have to hop the wall and get out of this. Looks like Vicious looking to just reposition off of this. That's THC Adam trying to send it, but he's sending it right into a hail of gunfire from Lazarus. How can he stay alive? He can't. That's going to be Civ taking the down.
Well, Purdy looks like he might be going for a reposition at a very dangerous point. Finally aware, okay, United's making the push back his direction. Purdy's trying to hold this angle. Takes a lot of damage. Grenade's going to land back over next to him as well. So that's going to take him down. Now just 2 members of Lazarus trying to hold back their remaining 3 from United.
The grenade's going to get the down and the exploding bite going to get the flush onto Purdy. So now it's just down to Alo and Adam. Still only 1 kill here for Lazarus. They should be secure, you have to think, given their placement right now, but it's got to be a little bit sweaty palms.
But look at Lazarus. They crawled right up next to United. Get the down onto 1, get the down onto 2, and Stab's taking a lot of damage. Looking back over towards this angle, gets the spray back over towards Alo now in a 1v1 with a hail of bullets just coming out from the other angles, and Dimmick is trying to interfere inside of this fight.
Is Lazarus going to go down to the circle, and it's just down to 3.
Lazarus skates in next. And we've been talking a little bit of smack about them all day, but they do qualify.
We love these guys.
We've
seen them forever.
But we've been criticizing them all day. They do qualify. Hopefully they can get their heads straight for tomorrow.
Overall, the team's performance today was pretty good. I think we got started off on a bad note. The first 2 games were rough, but we closed out really well in the second games, and I think we played those games to our full potential. So we're looking forward to playing in the finals tomorrow, and it'll be fun.
18 alive. We still have several strong squads as Envy is still right next to Lazarus, and it's exchanged back and forth, but Moody gets spotted out on a different angle, so now Antero very aware that he could be in a difficult position, going for a little bit of a reposition. Grenades are starting to come down. Antero's just going to have to pull back away from this, but I don't think he has too many clean paths that he can take. Pat's just trying to come up to provide some form of assistance, but Lazarus is just walking up and tearing down member after member of Envy.
Lazarus on an open field, Matchroom. They spread out so wide. They get so many multiple angles of fire. You cannot tell where they're going to come from next. Antero thought he had a peek, but it wasn't enough.
Pat's just going to toss the grenade over, seeing maybe he can get something out of it. Going to get some damage. damage back over towards Alo. Spray's going to come out. There was a little bit of exchange from Simplicity as well. Pat's just holding the line all by himself. We do have Tempo Storm that's walking back up behind this fight, so Lazarus has to be ridiculously cautious.
Somehow Tempo has managed to make their way all the way around Simplicity without even engaging in a fight to him. Now it's going to be Sharky taking out on Civil. Alo gets bled out. I think Purdy might be the last one up here if he can get the res on Uncivil there. Kind
And here it
nice.
comes.
Nope, that's going to be it.
Tempo right back behind him, just gets the shot. Gets the flush over. Off, but it's going to be Accelerate Gaming providing a little bit more cover for Baja here. On the other side, we've got Simplicity. Pinelo goes for a peek back down towards Lazarus and regrets it instantaneously.
We have taken a shot over here onto the western edge of the circle. Now we're back to the eastern end of the circle here as Sonic's Wooly's still bleeding out. They haven't been able to come from the top here. You see on the map, there's a three-way fight on the west side, a three-way fight on the east.
Now they'll take a couple of shots at Lazarus. And the thing about these guys, and we saw this in London, is they are very good at getting their head right, coming back from a bad start. They did it during the yesterday during the group phase as well. They had kind of a rough start. They sat down. They said, you know what, let's get this fixed, and they qualified. So with 6 games, I think they still have a ton of potential to move up into that top 3 position.
They're just going to run straight towards the center of the circle, pray that they can find somewhere to go. But Lazarus already trying to go for a similar strategy. Shots are going to start coming out from Alo, but they are going to be able to make it over to the shack, and they don't have anybody that gets down inside of that. That is so dangerous.
Huge play.
Oh, but there comes on the other side. That's going to be one of them down.
Alo's going to go down, Sharpshot's going to go down to Alo here. Now Lazarus has to try to decide if they want, how they want to push this. They're only 3 strong going up against the 4-strong Wildcard, but Wildcard is pinned to the shacks.
Purdy looked like he was trying to go for a flank there for a second. Meanwhile, Nerf, aware that he has so many people that are just pushing down around him. It's going to be Ghost off one side. Drassel's already out. McCoy is holding inside the shack, ops away from the meds, and it pays off big. Meanwhile, back over with Lazarus, it's just going to be grenade after grenade. It's a story of 2 shacks right now as so much death and destruction is happening around him. Adam does manage to line it up and knock down Caden. So with this, Adam continues to creep forward, gets another spray back over there, but it's going to be Sharpshot that forces him to retreat for just a second.
While all this is happening, and look at Endemic wrapping around from the north side. They're going to come around on the north side. Alo needs to be paying attention. You can see him starting looking up that way, but he's going to go down to something.
So that's going to stop Lazarus dead in their tracks. Push inside of there. So Venerate's going to throw the grenade right over next to Purdy. Purdy go for the spray back on a 1. Does get the down. Is he going to be able to get the second one? A little bit of damage. Going to go back over towards Purdy Curdy, but Venerated's going to go for
Is he going for the res?
This is kind of hazardous. So Venerate steps back around the other side of it. It's just a peak battle around a little bit of a hill. And look, some assistance coming back, and it's going to be Yellow Pike Gaming that provides the distraction.
Oh.
But then it's
Are you coming in through farm? Are you just trying to figure out maybe wait a little while? And as we see Trevor taking some nice shots onto Lazarus, who are moving early, coming off the military island. They're in big trouble, and that's going to be 2 down from Lazarus in the early game. A disaster for them here as they look to try and rotate early, and it cost them. And now the Sonics have come over to Purdy. They want this kill.
He's actually making it out. He baited it with the smoke earlier. Now he's peeking around the side, but it's Simplicity ruining his chances.
So again, game 4, I was solo at that point, and Sonics were 4 men above me to my west, like southwest. I was feeling all right. I didn't think they were going to push me, to be honest, because it didn't make sense in my head. Pushing to me didn't give them like a game-winning play. The game-winning play was going northwest. So when I realized they were pushing me, it was just like, oh, they're pretty dumb, and I should try and at least get a kill or smoke my way out. And I think Simplicity ended up killing me, so not much I could do.
Have taken a lot of damage while trying to push into the zone up against Lazarus. Lazarus, they did lose a player, but 2 of them are pushing forward.
Oh, that nade looks pretty damn good, Wooly. Oh, he will go down, and the heavyweight matchup is teeing off now as Lazarus is going to push the advantage. They're taking the ridgeline. Tony V, oh, the vehicle explosion will take down Tiggleton, and now the Sonics, they're on the ropes already. The spray from Tony V, he gets 1, going for the flush, and he's too thirsty as he gets returned and down by Lazarus. I believe they might have to try, oh, I think Purdy will go down. So even though they wanted to go for 2 there, he does get that very important point. But Sonic's also facing elimination as Lazarus is pressuring them tremendously.
Lazarus, you can see that they want this fight, but they don't want to commit too heavily, throwing a couple of nades to stop Sonic's return push.
Halo spraying at Keenan, the last man for the Sonics. They're second place now, but their potential, maybe a little bit of space here, a little bit of a prone. Oh, he's run out of a ridge. And he's got to run. Keenan, run. Oh, you got no space, bro. Find anything to hold on to. He's trying to get away, but he can't make it as Lazarus cleans up Sonics. As K-Mine's going to hit the loop, but here comes Lazarus. They want the advantage. They know Cloud9's got to be weakened, but they cannot see them. The res now coming. Nerf might get up, but Profi's the only real strong person here. So now it's going to be K-Mine trying to play the defender, and they are going to force Lazarus off. That's very, very desperate time now, and Cloud9 in position to win. Only Lazarus, they come alive now. They're going to have to make a go of it, and they immediately hit the prone as Alo goes down, and Uncivil, just the last man standing, swarming now. The work cut out. The distraction is there. 1 down, 2 almost down. Profi's in the wide peak, but H1 comes to support, and Cloud9 takes the victory.
But at this stage, Envy, if they can win this fight, it could basically seal the deal for them. Dodging nades from GHC, and Adam goes down first.
Lazarus is out as well, and this is
To sum up this Royale, we've had our ups and downs, but we're slowly getting back to form, and that makes me happy.